they didn't add cash. So we got our first news in a while from Counter-Strike on Twitter. They didn't add much, but for Premier and Pro Play, Train will be out of the active pool and Anubis will be added back in. Did call it. Today we'll talk about when I think cash is going to come. We'll talk about the Armory situation, and I'll give you some predictions for the next 6 months, the timeline. Let's get into it. So while it seems random and we seem like we're waiting for a long time, Valve's patterns actually follow pretty predictive cycles. And now that it's season 4, we've had enough cycles where we can, actually realistically say when the next update's going to happen. Premier has been pretty consistent. Seasons start in January and July, and every 6 months there is a map rotation. One pattern did change with this season, however. Usually it is the least most played map. Overpass was kept in the map pool even though it was the least played. And Train, despite it not even being the second least played map, was taken out. Who knows, maybe there's another pattern that Valve is seeing that we're not, maybe like CT, T-sided ratings, something like that. Regardless, it is out and Anubis is back in. I really like Anubis, but a lot of people don't seem to like it, so whatever there. And a lot of people were wondering, where's cash? Well, if you've seen my video a few days prior, I spoke about that when Train was added to the game for the first time. It was added in November, and only in January was it added back into Premier and then Pro Play. And I made the prediction that cash will follow the same playbook. Just makes the most sense for Valve, and it makes the most sense for us too. We should be happy cash is not getting straight put into Premier, because it's going to suck FPS wise. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be glitch spots. The report is going to fuck with the colors. They might have to change the colors or some shit. It's better to let it sit there for 3 months, let people play it, let people give feedback, and then put a polished version back into Premier when the next season comes out in July. So that's good, and I'm looking forward to playing Anubis. The Armory updates are also just as predictable. They kind of come right in between each season. The Armory released in October of 2024. The first update was with the Fever case in March 2025. And our latest refresh was in October of 2025. So every 6 months again, just right in between each Premier season. Now there's one pattern interrupt that I'd like to make note of. Today's video has been sponsored by the lovely ladies and gentlemen over at SkinsMonkey.com. SkinsMonkey is the industry standard trading forum and marketplace for anything and all things Counter-Strike. 24/7 support and an instant trading system so fast, those Bulgarian overpay goblins are sure to go out of business. Now, if that's not enough incentive, throw my code Mike in on the website for $5 off on your first trade. But if you trade up to $100 on the website, they'll double your bonus from 5 to 10. Now, if you don't have any skins, and I just gave you some free game on investment advice, you could deposit money and use the website as a marketplace as well. In that case, my code Mike will net you a 5% deposit bonus, bringing it from 30 to 35%. So go get swagged out, courtesy of SkinsMonkey.com. Because I think it's important you know about it before it happens. That is the limited edition item. Now, the limited edition item in the first 2 Armory releases released with everything else, right? October 1st and then March 31st. However, the latest limited edition item, the M4 Solitude, came pretty much 1 month after Premier Season 3. So we broke the pattern. And I think it's going to stay in the way in which the M4 was released, right? 1 month after the new season. And I think that's because it commands such a high price, with the limited edition item being 25 Armory stars, that it's going to make people who hoard their stars over the season's length use some of them on the limited edition item, as opposed to the new collections and the new cases if and when they do come out, right? Because you still can make profit on the limited edition item, but you're just going to have less for the new collections. If you release the limited edition item with everything else, people may just opt to put all of their stars into the stickers or the charms or whatever the hell comes out next time. So I'd say, like, if you have 1,000 stars, I would put only like 250 into the limited edition item, right? Redeem 10, make your profit there, but save the bulk for when the new stuff comes out altogether in March. Because not only is a limited edition like super expensive, when new collections come out, it usually comes with like 3 things, right? A sticker, a charm, and a skin collection. Which means that the money is being dispersed in 3 ways, which means that you stand to make a little bit more on each specific collection. Now, as I also spoke about in the last video 2 days ago, it looks like that Arabesque collection in the Call to Armory is going to be an Anubis 2026 collection. I know Arabesque is not Egyptian, however, I think if they, like, put the words Egyptian in the Call to Armory, it may have, like, turned on people's light bulbs, so they went with just Arabesque. Just be like a little bit more vague with their suggestions. And maybe that spy/tech theme does hint at a new Nuke collection coming out, because we have speculated that Nuke 2018 collection will be removed from the active pools. Only time will tell there. But as I said, that Armory refresh is probably not going to happen if the pattern continues until March 31st, 2026. Right, we'll see the limited edition item next month, and then we'll see the new stuff in March. Now, at one point, there was 4 skin collections, so I could see them getting rid of 1 and adding a Nuke and an Anubis, or I could see them keeping all 3 and just adding 1, Or they could get rid of 2 and then add the 2 collections in so that there's 3. Who knows? But with Train being removed from Season 3, a lot of people just bought up, started buying Train skins last night. If you had Train skins to sell, and still probably even right now, they're still a little bit pumped, I would still sell right now. Valve has made it abundantly clear that they will tell you when they're discontinuing Armory collections. The limited edition item always has a timer next to it, and when the graphic design collection was discontinued, there was a sign that said last chance for about 2 weeks before it was actually taken out of the game. There is no message on the Train collection right now, which means it's all speculation, and you should be selling into that hype. Am I fully convinced Train will be removed from the next Armory rotation? No. Overpass and Sport and Field do have increased numbers right now, but I believe half of that is purely bracing for impact when they get discontinued. It seems like Train is so new. However, the graphic design collection was discontinued after a year, so can Train. If you want to see more specific advice on the Armory, I made an Armory report like a week and a half ago. You can look there, but the general advice is to just hedge across all 3 collections, such that if one gets discontinued, you're not fucked holding these ones for another 6 months. I also saw a lot of people talking about souvenir packages for Train, and while that seems like a good idea, I would stay away. The risk to reward is super low there. Let's look at the Dust 2 collection right now. You haven't been able to get the gold arabesque since the operation in like 2021, and since then Dust 2 has been removed and put back into the map pool a couple of times, I think twice. But even when it comes back, you're still able to get that gold arabesque. They have not released a new collection yet. Train is not getting a new collection the next time it comes back in. It'll probably be back in the map pool in 2 seasons, in which you'll be able to get the same souvenir guns that you were right now in Budapest and Austin. If you're focusing on anything, you're focusing on the Armory collection, so these are the non-souvenirs, which means they can be traded up. That leads us to our last point. When is cash coming? Let's follow Valve's playbook with Train and how they released Train. It was announced Train would be released with Season 2 in January of last year. But for 2 months, it was put into a test phase in competitive and casual, in which it was released in November. So November is 1 month after the Armory came out, and 2 months before the new season. Since everything operates on a 6-month timeline, we can just directly transfer that to right now and say that it probably comes in around mid-May, right? Cash mid-May, you have a month and a half, 2 months to actually test it out, get a feel for the map, and then in mid-July, when Season 5 comes out, then cash will be added to the pool. Hopefully they get rid of fucking Ancient. And then I think your cash collection in the Armory will come out later on down the road in the October Armory refresh. And then maybe you get your Inferno there too. So those are my predictions. Let me give you a quick little recap just so you can hold me accountable, because I actually want to see how right I am here. January 19th, Season 3 ends. The next day or 2 days after, Season 4 will come out, in which Anubis is added back in and Train is removed. Now, late to mid-February, a limited edition item is going to release, whatever gun it may be. Fucking Solitude would be cool, in which I would spend around 25% of my Armory credits right there. Save the rest for the Armory release. Around the middle of March, we will get announcements for discontinuations of collections. The things that I think they announced to be discontinued, I would still put my chips on Overpass and Sport and Field. However, now I'd be allocating a little bit more towards Train. Over those 2 are my primary ones. For the stickers, I would say the Elemental Crafts, as well as those stupid little skull ones. I don't feel like anyone opens that shit. They might just get rid of that. And probably the 2 charms that have been in the Armory since October 1st, 2024. The small arms and the original Dr. Link one, whatever the fuck they're called. Missing Link. Then March 31st, new Armory update, huge rehaul, 2 new charm collections, 2 new sticker collections, 2 new skin collections, maybe a case. It's been a year since Fever, but we don't know with all the terminal shit going on, who knows. Then in May, cash is released to competitive and casual modes, to which it would be added in July with Premiere Season 5. Mid-Season 5, we will get the Cash 2026 collection. And those are my predictions. That's the play. I'll briefly cover what I just spoke about today tomorrow on DE News. This is our Sunday, a reoccurring show. I have some business to tend to today, so I will not be around. However, hopefully I'll be home a little bit earlier so I can do a live stream as well. Those are fun, and I think we hit 50 subscribers on Twitch, so thank you for that. Giveaway is still going on. It ends in 9 days now with UU skins, Stat Check, AK Inheritance for everybody, and then 2 knives, Gamma Doppler Shadow Daggers, and a Kukri Knife Slaughter for the members of the YouTube channel. If you're a Twitch subscriber as well, you can DM me, and I'll add you to that giveaway as well. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. Peace.